Hello everyone, and welcome to another live stream. I am SourceCute, and today we're going to work with the wonderful Wonderland Engine again. And we're working on a little pizza game. Well, before we dive into the game, let me show what the games look like in VR. I think that's a great way to start. So let's head over to the VR and check where we are, and then I will explain what we're going to do today. Let's go into VR. So let's refresh to make sure we have the latest version. And let's head into VR and check it out. So, this is the little pizza shop you're working in. You have your hands. And the goal of the game is to, well, prepare pizzas. Now, there is already one here. At some point, I want to make it so you have to create the pizza shape by pressing with your hands. If I can figure out the pizza physics, then it would be cool to really twirl a pizza in your hand and throw it in the air, and that way make a nice round pizza. For now, it's just there. During the weekend, I'm a little bit too close to my desk. Let me go there. So now when you do this, there's tomato sauce on your pizza. You can throw it back. Now, there are already 3 types of toppings available: cheese, pepperoni, and mushrooms. And yeah, today I want to see if we can create something where we can grab some cheese, put it on, grab some pepperoni, put it on, and grab some mushrooms and put it on. And I want to visually represent what you were doing on the pizza. Now, I've created the basics for that. So it's basically a texture that is edited on the fly based on transparent images. So there's a base layer and then there's a tomato layer. And we're going to add the cheese layer and then the pepperoni and the mushroom layers. So, yeah. Let's do it. Well, let's go back to the desktop. Hello Yinch, welcome to the live stream. So this is our little pizza shop, and as you can see, the pizzas are right here. Let me disable the collision shapes and the physics objects. There we go. Now I'm working on a custom library for the hand interactions, so grabbing things, and I'm really focusing on how things are done in Unity with the XR interaction toolkit, for example, or the VR interaction framework. Those are 2 ways that are pretty common in Unity. So what I have is on my controller, I have a hand poser. This one is new. I'm working on a recorder to record your hand poses. As you saw in VR just a second ago, there's a normal pose and a grab pose. Those are pretty fine, but I want to make it so that if you grab like the ladle, you can change your hand off, or when we are going to grab cheese. And I'm not sure if we're going to do that today, if we have enough time. But it would be nice to hold your hand in a cup shape with cheese on top, and when you grab pepperoni, it also needs to. It would be nice if you have a different shape of hand. And I'm working on a way of doing all that. In here there's a grabber with some different options. And then we have one thing here, which is a snap zone. Now this is using the collision. If I enable that for a second again, you see there is a box on top of the pizza. That's the collision. If you move something inside that box, you can snap to it. And then we have the last thing. It's in scene, I think. Yeah. The ladle has a grabbable. So you have a grabber on the hands, and you can add grabbable object components to objects, and that means you can, at that point, grab it. If it has physics, you can use the physics. And it uses the collision point. Now you can also add a grab point, in case of the ladle is right here. And that will move, if you grab anywhere, it will snap to your hand on this point. At some point, I would really like to add two-handed grabbing. So for example, when we need to place the pizza in the oven, we need to do it with one of those big, I don't know what they're called, pizza shovels. And it would be really cool if we can figure something out to do that with two hands. But that's for later. Oh, one other thing I did since the last stream is changing the pixel density on the textures. I was using 64 by 64 textures everywhere, but things up close, that was way too big. The pixels were way too big, so I doubled the size. So 1 meter by 1 meter is now 128 by 128 pixels, which is exactly this shape. Which means we have a lot more detail in the floor and here, and the marble here has way more detail. I'm planning on doing some special videos on that, since I'm using Substance Designer now to create these materials. These toppings are created with Pixel Edit, and that's what we're going to use today. I forgot to open it. So this is tomato sauce. And we're going to add layers like this. And there's a layer below. This is the exact size of the pizza. This green circle. So everything should stay inside here. I'm just creating sprites, exporting those, and then loading them in. And they are loaded here. Now there will be cooked version as well. That's another point. As soon as we're going to implement the oven, we're going to add cooked versions of all the... Because a cooked cheese on a pizza looks different than raw cheese. And the same goes for pretty much every ingredient. So we need to, at some point, switch the textures from uncooked to cooked. So we have two variants, and then we build everything up from there. If we have a look at the code here, the topping component is nothing more than some properties, and when it's started, it loads the image dynamically. The pizza component is a bit more complex, because this needs to take care of all the toppings. So this loads the default by hand. This creates a dynamic texture. This way. Although this is the old way of doing things, I just realized. No, I ran into an issue. I need to send that to the devs of Wonderland. I couldn't load it with the normal. So you should be able to do it like this, and then import the texture from here. But that didn't work. Weirdly enough. And then when we add a texture, we're just going to push it to a layers array. So everything we add to the pizza is added to this layers. And then every time it changes, it just draws all the images on top of each other and updates the texture. And because it's referenced to a canvas, we can just recreate the canvas and then say, well, it's changed, so we call the update method, and then everything works. So what I want to do today is create the textures for the cheese, pepperoni, and mushrooms. And then I'm going to add the components to the game, to Wonderland. Now it will be tricky because in this case we actually pick something up and put it there. But I'm not going to pick up the entire cheese, so we need to pick up something from here that is not visible. So we might need to change the code that's behind the grabbable thing to something that is invisible and just becomes visible when we grab it. But maybe we can just start with, maybe place a cube on top, that you just grab the cube. And then we can always hide the cube, make it invisible, but still grab something. But I think that's the easiest way. Yeah, let's draw some cheese. Now, I already had a version here, but this is scaled in the original scale. But these are kind of the colors of cheese on a pizza. Now, I think I want to use this as a base layer. So now I drew the tomato sauce on a different layer, the same layer that's below here. And I can create, if I show both, I can create a new image here just by going to the tile tool and just click Control. Now it adds a new tile here. And it should be the one from here if we show the tile indices. So these don't have an index. And this is index 2, so it's 0, 1, and 2. This one is 1. This one is 2. Now this tool, Pixel Edit, can be used to create whole tile sets with even animations. I'm not using it that way at the moment. I think we can even clear a couple of these. These are old ones. So I think we're just going to pick some colors here and add some strokes on here. I think that's the easiest way of doing it. And we need to stay within the borders of this, because then it will be, there won't be pixels being cut off at the edge of the texture, since the pizza is actually two meshes. So this is middle part. So I drew a circle in pixels and made it so that it's exactly the whole pixels that are within this circle. That look best. If it's cut off, it doesn't look right. Let's go here. Just now, these are pixels, but I imagine cheese are little sprinkles of a few pixels. And we need a bit more cheese than this, but We need to have a little bit of variation in color, so let's pick a darker one and just do the same thing. Add a couple of those little strokes. Let's pick a really light color. Now it's okay if there's still some transparency in the original texture. Let's pick another one. We did the most yellow one, so let's... Well, it doesn't really matter. Just as long as we have some variation in color, then it's fine. Are we still within the border? That's the question. What we can do now? I just wanted to see what it would look like with the tomato sauce. Whoa, with the tomato sauce behind it. No, let's just copy the whole texture. So we know exactly that it's the same size. So let's go here. Control C, Control V. So this is the area we should stay within. We touch the edges. That's okay. Now, when I look at this, we could add a little bit more cheese here. Maybe add a little bit more variation in color. There we go. Let's pick this one. Now, does that look like pixel cheese? I think it does. Okay. So, that's the cheese layer. Let's just go and test this. Let's go export, tile set. Now, these are scaled up quite a bit. So we do save. We have 3 files now. Let's go in here. So they are... By default, they are placed in here. This is the new one. But I'm going to copy it to the static toppings folder. So the static folder is deployed at runtime and will stay in its normal form. Like this. If things are in the textures folder within the project, the textures will be optimized. I think we can show that like here. So it creates a texture atlas. So these are all textures that are optimized. But in this case, I want to load them runtime so I can edit them in a in a canvas. Now we need to add it. So as I said, I think we're going to grab a cube or something we add to this topping. Because I want this to be the same place, but I need to grab something from here and drop it over here. And then the pizza should get cheese. Then we need to add something that it makes it jump back to the start position when it's dropped. I think it should be an option. When you drop something, it should go back to the start position. First, let's add that little mesh. Now there is probably a big cube that's going to appear right now. Because it's a meter by a meter. That's a bit on the big side. So let's do... I think that's even big. Now this will be the cube for now. We're going to grab. Let's add collision. By default, it's adding a sphere. Now we don't care about the orientation. So we're just going to an AABB. And let's make this the same size as our cube. Now I need to think, because there are two things we need to have here. The collision needs to be on 1 and 2. Things we can grab are on 1 and 2. And things like these, the collision, are only on 2. So things the objects can snap to are on the second group. And things you can grab are on the 1 group. Hey, Backstreet Boys, welcome. So now we need to add our grabbable to this mesh. Let's see where it is. Oh, we can search grabbable. Adding the grabbable makes it so we can grab it. We don't really care about the grab point in this case. We're just going to grab it by whatever point we have. And this will be a pizza component as well. No, it's not a pizza component. It's the topping. The topping component. And it needs to be dropped in this case. Not only being held in place, we really want to drop the cheese on top of the pizza. And we need to specify what texture to use. So I'm just going to copy it from this one. I haven't figured out a better way of doing it like this than this. So we need to add the URL as a string. That's not ideal, but it works. And this, oh, in this case, it is toppings 2 that we need. Now, if we drop this cube, oh, it's not droppable yet. Add physics. Let's enable the physics for a second so we can see it. So this sphere is what the physics are at the moment. I want to have a little box. Now this box is a bit too big. Let's make it the same size as the collider. So that's what we need to grab. And let's set kinematic on at the start. When kinematic is on, it's not affected by gravity at this point. And I don't want bouncy cheese, so I'm just going to disable the bounciness. We can simulate it here as well. Now nothing would change. If we turn the kinematic off, you see it drops down. Technically, we get away with it. I think there will be an option on the grabbable that if the object is dropped, it will return to its home position after a certain amount of time. Maybe that's the best. So it could be, if it's 0, it will be directly, immediately. If it's like, if it's 2, it will reset in 2 seconds, maybe, or something. That way we can have a little bit of control of what's happening. Now I think, technically, this might be it for the Cheese already. It will work only once because it doesn't go back to the original position. Let's see what's going to happen in VR. So, let's make sure it's refreshed. Should refresh automatically, but yeah, there is something where it sometimes crashes. Oh, look at that. That's a nice game. If you are here, you should play this game. Link is in the description below as well. Okay, let's see. There is a little cube. I cannot reach this. I need to. Oh wait, let me do it like this. Fresh. So let's. We can grab it now. If we drop it, we should get cheese on the pizza. Cool. Now we can add this as well, but now the order is... We cannot add this. That's interesting. That's a bug. That's a bug. Does it work the first time? Yeah. Does that look at cheese? Do we need more? Do we need more cheese? I think we need a little bit more cheese. If I look at this right now. It's funny that the original cube disappears. It's gone now. I'm not sure why. When we do cheese first, the whole thing stopped working. Now it could be that we have a little error. But I refreshed, so we couldn't see. Let's try it one more time, where we do the cheese first and then the... let's just drop the cheese. I think... no, if the cheese would give an error, then we would see it right now. Let's quickly try again and see if we get errors. So we didn't get errors that time. Let's refresh. Let's do the cheese first. Peaks, no errors. This is not working. And it doesn't give errors. So technically it's not wrong. Now, this is the very first time the code has been running in this combination, where we have an enter snap zone and a snapped. Oh, look at this. That's the destroy part. So when it's snapped... Oh! I know what could be happening. The object is destroyed. But... we have also... in here... in the snap zone... the object has snapped to the snap zone. So it should not really snap. When something is snapped to the snap zone, it keeps track of the object that is held. So we have a reference there to the object. We destroy it here, but I'm not sure what happens if we destroy it. I cannot grab it out again. I think if we make it reset, instead of destroy it, We could try and just build a reset function right here. That way. Now we need to build this function. But that way, when we drop something in this snap zone, it's going to reset. And in that reset, we can just say, well, if the object was grabbed, and we know, if it's was grabbed by the original object, we release it from that object. Because it's also doing things with reparenting. Now it's pretty much the same as dropped, although it needs to go back to the complete original position instead of just the position wherever it was dropped. So what if we just add another property here? Original transform, let's do world. And let's add that reset. Reset. Let's add a little code comment here. Resets object back to its original position and removes from being held. So if it's grabbed, oh, we also need to see if it was kinematic or not. Because if it wasn't kinematic, it should stay not kinematic. So, if we have physics, we say this dot was kinematic equals oh, let's keep original kinematic. The similar thing. Now we should be able to just copy this. And then just reverse this. Right? Now, if it was grabbed, this is the oh, this is the grabber, not the snap zone. Okay, we need to reset the snap zone. Because we know the snap zone right here. We cannot reset the snap zone from here. Because we know that it was grabbed. We need to reset it to the original parent. Well, basically, we need to do almost the same thing. So we reparent it back to the original parent. We set that it's not being grabbed from here. Now I wonder, the other part might see that it's still grabbed. So it needs to know that it's not being currently held. Currently held. Personally, I really don't like this, since we are going to call something, we're going to reset something on another object. Maybe we should just do a reset function. We do this? No. But let's do it like this. And maybe we should also reset the hand pose. Just in case. So when we reset an object, basically resets everything to its original. Just to be sure, we're just going to reset the translation rotation also. Okay. And then we need to reset the snap zone as well. Because the snap zone should be ready to receive again. No, it's just reset. Reset. It's basically then, if there is, well, just make sure nothing is being held. I think that's it. Anything else? No. Okay. I think we can try this out in VR now. All right. Kind of stuck. Wait, let me quickly check if there are no breakpoints or something, since we're debugging. Well, we'll see what happens. It got stuck again. Why does? Anyway, so when we grab this cube, we drop it and it should go back to the original position. It doesn't. We can add the sauce now. Okay. Why did it go there? Should go there. That's weird. That's weird. What? How can it go to that position? Maybe because... What is happening? We get the topping component. Doesn't matter. You reset the grabbable. Now somehow it mixes up two things. Because it seemed to grab it grabbed to here, which is where the grab point of the ladle is. And that's odd. I mean, how does it know about that? Unless it somehow gets the parents mixed up or something? Grabbables should only live in this context. Snap zone is everything. Snap zone. We only say held object is null, so that's not doing anything. It's only setting the null, so it should be something with these. Maybe it's this one. I don't think so, but let's do a console log. And let's do the original parent. And the actual parent. This dot object dot parent. These should be the same. But apparently they didn't. They aren't the same. Let's go inspect again. Yeah, let's test it in VR. I think in VR, grabbing things is easier in VR than in test code. Let's go to VR. Oh, I saved the photo. That's nice. So, I dropped this. It didn't go back. I did this. Now it's snapping to there. That's weird. Now this. Everything is snapping to the... That should not snap there. That's doing cheese. And then resets... Wait. Did it reset back to there now? Whoa. Okay, let me show you what's happening on the desktop now. I saw some lag. And that's because we're writing to the console a lot. Was that a breakpoint here? Topping cheese? Topping cheese. So it thinks it's snapping to topping cheese. Oh. I know what's happening. What I didn't do, and I didn't think would be a problem, is setting the grab point. Could it be using the grab point for something like snapping? Because it's snapping to this grab point. What happens if there's no grab point? Nothing should be happening if there's no grab point. That's why I did this. If there's no grab point, nothing should happen. This is going wrong. I'm not sure why I did it that way. Because I should not change that. It should be set at the start. And then it shouldn't change. Because the original parent should not change. Ever. So when you grab it, it reparents to the grabber. When you drop it, it reparents to the original parent. Which is what should be happening when you drop it. Same when it resets. The difference is it's doing something with a local transform and something with a world transform. But we've seen here that the original parent's name, topping cheese, and the object's parent name, topping cheese, are equal. That's kind of weird. Also, it keeps resetting. Why is it keeping resetting? The only reason I can think of is that it's still triggering this snapped. And the snapped event happens when it snaps to the center of the snap zone. And then it goes to the snap zone. And then it should reset outside of the snap zone. Why is it getting here twice? That's the... It's this event. Oh. Is it going to the update? Is it going here over and over and over and over? It's still colliding. With the mesh. With the mesh. Is there a thing called mesh? Yeah. Oh. It could be that I need to disable those for the collisions. Okay, let's check it out in VR again. I already refreshed, so let's go in here. Oh, got the debug. Oh, we drop it. It doesn't reset. And I see lag, so it's still... So for some reason it's snapping over and over again. Whoa, the lag is insane. It's still this. Why isn't it going back to the original position? Original transform world. Topping cheese. This should be all. So 1. Why? It should go. If I look at this, it is the original position. Hard to tell because there is a whole tree behind it, but we move this mesh. We could try setting the grab point, although it should not matter. It should not matter. Because we are ignoring the grab point. It is not grabbed by anything. It has physics. But it set the kinematic to true. That's correct. We reset mesh to its original parent. Which is topping cheese. That has apparent ingredients. That seems to be correct. So it goes back to its original parent. Maybe we should not keep the original keep transform. Like this dot object reset translation rotation and then set it back to its world position. We said this object dot parent is equal to the original parent. Don't bother keeping the transform, it doesn't matter because we want to reset it. Now it should reset to the original position. I think. Let's try again. Okay, let's go to VR. Please. Is it stuck? Oh, we're probably in a breakpoint still. Let me remove the breakpoint. There we go. Now we won't get stuck in a breakpoint. Let's go to VR. Let's grab this little... Yep. Drop it. And it's gone. That's weird, because it should be right there. Can we add sauce? Yeah. I don't get why it's gone. Is it somewhere else? Oh, these are my test pizzas over there. I was like, what? Why is it? No. It's not anywhere. The little cube is gone. Okay, why is the little cube gone then? Would this change the scale as well? Oh, that's... I always do that. I think you can hook this debug code up so that you can actually change the original code, but you would need... The best way is just changing the code in the code editor, not in the debugger. Let's try one more time. Oh. Now look, the screenshot. I'm not sure why I always take screenshots. Okay, let's grab the cube, drop it. It still doesn't go back. But I think it's just below here. I can grab it out. Drops. So the local transform is off. Well, maybe we need to set the local transform individually. Oh, come here. So we can drop multiple cheese on there. Oh. Now I cannot drop cheese on there because this doesn't do anything. That's an interesting thing. It keeps snapping to that position. Why would it snap to that position? I really hate these kind of things. So it's actually snapping. I think to this position. Or this position. No. It's snapping to this position. Which is even stranger. Maybe I need to write a debug tool that writes the entire tree to the console, so we can see what is parented to what. Because it's weird that it would take this position. Even after we moved it. So this has a grabbable. And it starts out here, but it grabs to the sauce when we drop it in. Maybe even to the snap zone as a child of empty. This doesn't have anything to do with empty, right? No. This has 1 and 2. This has 1 and 2. Now this grabbable is checking collisions. So it could be that because I dropped the ladle into the pizza, I need to figure out a way of not allow dropping in there. I think we're going to figure this out at a later point. After the stream, outside of the stream. What I want to fix or add is adding the other 2 toppings. I'm going to rename this mesh to cheese mesh. If this is local, is it? Yeah, this is where it's snapping back to. Originally. I think we just set the local. Need to set the local as well. Original local. Then it's probably sticking out of the... I don't get why it's going to over and get into a loop here, but I just want to see if I can add the other two textures. Let's duplicate this one, the cheese mesh, and copy it to cheese pepperoni. Let's make this 0 so it's in the center. This is the pepperoni mesh. Pepperoni mesh. This will be toppings 3. Now it doesn't crash because there is no toppings 3 yet, but we'll add it in a second. And let's copy this. Let's call this one mushroom mesh. Let's center it to the mushrooms. And let's call this 3. We have 3 for the mushroom, 2 for the pepperoni, and 1 for the cheese. Now we can just hide these meshes and then we have something to grab, and then when we drop something invisible. Let's add some pepperoni to this pizza. Let's add a circle there. You know what? Let's add another one. Oh, we can go below. It doesn't matter exactly where it is. Now let's grab the original pepperoni texture for a second. Let me quickly look it up. So can we just drop these in? Oh, we can. Image and image. So this is the pepperoni texture for the colors. I think we may grab Control C, Control V. Oh, it's multiplied by 8, so it's a bit big. Even this is big. It doesn't become a nice scaled image at all at any point. I was hoping it would become all pixels again. Nah, well, doesn't matter. Let's make this into a circle. Let's make it a bit... No, let's keep these colors. Let's draw a circle. Roughly the same size. Maybe smaller. What would be the size of... pepperoni on a pizza? I think it could be this size. No, that's not the right. I wonder if this needs to have dimensions or like highlights or anything. Oh. I just wanted to rotate it randomly. So we have just random. Are pepperonis on a pizza all? They are kind of in line, aren't they? Or are they just random? It's funny, I love pizza, but I don't know how pepperoni is spaced on a pizza. Or how many pieces are on there. Maybe here. Is this random enough? Four, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay, this one. A bit lower. These ones seem to be a bit close together. Well, for now we do this. Let's delete this part. A and hit Control click. So now we have the pepperoni part. And then mushrooms. I think mushrooms will be a similar thing, maybe a bit smaller. But also like things on top. But then with these colors. So let's just grab piece. Scale it down. Now the question is, at what point do we get the exact divided by 8? Maybe right here. Okay. Now these might not. I want them different. Well, no, I'm not going to do them too different. What if I just draw a mushroom? B. Oh, Control D probably. Yeah. A. Really pixelated. Mushroom. Now, the question is, can this pass as a mushroom? And if we do it like this, again, random rotate the crap out of the thing. I'm not a big fan of the really dark pixel. Going to make it even lighter. Okay. Oh. I had a lot of trouble with the stream being stuck. And I had a window over my OBS. I thought the stream was stuck for a second. Ah. Oh. Control V. Random rotate. Now I'm glad we have to do this only once. Imagine if you need to make a pizza in this tempo. In a restaurant. Customers won't get pizza for hours. And the funny thing is, if everything is working correctly, we should be able to drop things on top of each other. A second. I'm just going to add a few more pieces of mushroom. Actually, they should be allowed to overlap a little. Okay, let's remove this. Delete. Control D to deselect. I'm a bit... No, I think it's fine. Let's do... Look at that. It fits on top perfectly. Now I wonder... I think that difference is visible enough. A, control click, save. File, export, tile set, save. Now they are in the wrong folder still. So let me quickly go into the right folder here. Although probably easier right here because they have a different color. Control C. We go to the toppings. Control V. We have one. We have mushrooms, pepperoni, cheese, tomato sauce, and just the plain nothing on pizza thing. Okay. We did set them up here. So technically speaking, when we drop it here, it should reset. Hopefully. And then we should be able to drop other things in there. It should add textures. Yeah. What can go wrong, right? Let's go check it out in VR. Yeah, let's go. Let's do the correct order first. Give for a second. Tomato sauce, Brooks. Then we do cheese. Correct. Will this work? Oh, it switches over there. That's weird. Cannot grab it. It's off. When I drop the mushrooms, I got pepperoni. That's weird. Still here. No. Parenting is completely off. Does not parent to the right parent. But when I did the mushrooms, got pepperoni, and this does the cheese. Cheese. I think either my textures are wrong. I thought I did it correctly, didn't I? So the topping cheese is 2. That's correct. So dish, oh, is also 2. This should be 3. And this should be 4, I guess. So they snap to a different location. That's weird. They should snap back to this location, but it could be that it has something to do with the scaling. I'm not sure. Or something. Something weird happens there. I will figure that out later. Right now, I'm going to check it in VR one more time to see if it correctly works. And if we get a pepperoni mushroom pizza. Let's see. Let's go into VR. Just reset. Okay, we have tomato sauce. That works. Review for a second. Okay. Cheese. We got cheese. Pepperoni. We got pepperoni. Mushrooms. Nah. Isn't that a great pizza? Look at that. I wish I could pick it up and put it in the oven. Right. Well, with that, I'm going to end the stream right here. I am working on a couple of devlogs as well, which will be part tutorials, part devlogs. Those will be up on the channel pretty soon. So make sure you hit the subscribe button. I probably going to stream again later this week. So again, hit the follow button or the subscribe button. And hit the bell if you want to get notified when I go live. Make sure you follow my Discord as well. And yeah, if you have any suggestions for things we should definitely add to the game, leave them as a comment below. And I will thank you for watching, and I will see you again on the next stream. Have a great day. Bye-bye.